think it's only right we get started. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching tonight, if you have not seen the trailer, you're going to watch it with me. But if you have seen the trailer, try not to spoil it in the chat. But here we fucking go. The trailer to James Gunn's Superman, which will be coming out July 11th. Already starting with him falling. Oh, he's hurting. Okay. That Clark is giving me Greaves vibes a little bit. That guitar. Oh. There's our Lois. This looks like Daily Planet, like vintage Planet. He had to flex a little bit. And you got a big peacemaker in this. So is that our Pa Kent? That's got to be the call for crypto. There's crypto.
Home. Take me home.
Whoa! And there's our Luther.
Superman.
Those people not hating. There's already the lake or core. Is that the tower? Hey, Mr. Terrific, baby. They didn't even show the logo or the name. They just like, you know the name, you know the face, you know the character. Just get ready July 11th. I love how they did that. That's actually pretty freaking clever. For them to just be like, you know the name, you know who he is, you know his story. So what are you waiting for? Pre-order those tickets on before July 11th. Buckle the fuck up. That's pretty fucking clever. That's pretty clever. But again, I said this before. James knew what he was doing. James knows what he's doing. And the fact, like I said, the Guardians Galaxy trilogy is proof of that. And then the taste of it is the fact of his version of Suicide Squad did so much better than the David Ayer version, and then brought the legitimate fame of Peacemaker, courtesy of John Cena with that part as well. Like, come on. So we're gonna go through an ad list of the entire trailer. So we're gonna do that. So buckle up on that sentiment. So first off, this gives me Christopher Reeves vibes so much. I love that. I love him towering still over with some of these people. Oh, excuse me, hurry. Because I remember that distinctly with Reeves' version. You didn't see that with Hamill. You didn't see that with many others. You didn't see that with Brandon Root's portrayal. I'm just going off of the movies, though, not all the versions, just the movies. With Cavill and Ruth's, you didn't see that. You see that in him. It's so actually very rare of that. So I love that. I love that. Then the fact of this looks exactly like the planet. This is totally planet. And you know, I'm gonna be honest. I was a little hesitant with Rachel because I only knew her from like I think one performance, one project she was in, which was obviously the only thing that I had known her for was clearly Mrs. Maisel. And like I said, nothing against her on that performance. Nothing against that, because it's not a bad show. It's not a bad show. But I was hesitant of her taking on something modern of this, because I don't think I've watched anything modern that she's played of a character, any modern character she's played. If she has, then probably I've missed out on it. Let me know in the chat. But I love, she looks more Lois. The dark hair might be it. I don't know. She's bringing something different than Bosworth did. Thank God. She's bringing something different than what Amy Adams did. No hate. And obviously she's bringing something different than Margot did. That's my opinion on it. Although I will say it's better than Bosworth. Amy wasn't bad. I truly don't think Amy Adams was bad. It's just I can't see Lois being a redhead. That's just my only qualm. Because I'm like, Lois Lane a redhead? I can't see that. I can't. Same thing. That's what Bosworth did the same thing. They made her a redhead too, and I'm just like, Lois Lane is not a redhead. You're making her more like Mary Jane Watson, and that she's not. Just because Mary Jane also happened to do journalism briefly, doesn't mean you need to make her a redhead. You could have made her dark hair. Rachel, I see that. And if it was, because you know what? In some other life, and I will tell this, because some of y'all might probably not think this. Can you, if you could, in the early 90s, during her height of fame on shows like Friends, tell me you can't see Courtney Cox actually pulling off that role too. Courtney Cox, I totally could see doing a Lois Lane. I don't know why. But for some reason, I totally could see that. Like, I'm talking 90s, early 90s successful Friends. I'm not talking later years married to David Arquette at one point. Early 90s Courtney Cox, I totally could see that. And it's funny because she's done 2 projects where she played a journalist, technically. Her playing the reporter character in Scream, in the Scream film series, and then, of course, the show Dirt. Both of those, she played journalistic characters. So I totally can see that. That's what I see in Boston. So I totally can see that. So I will take that for what it is. But this definitely looks like, this is definitely our Daily Planet. Now, if I'm correct, the actor who is playing let's see, I'm going over what other case of it. I have to look over what other projects that let's see. Okay. So, David Corwin Sweat. I'm hoping that's how you pronounce it. That is our current Kal-El. Not much heard of him, but I will gladly take that. Then we have in this project who will be here. Okay, so this is Skylar Gisondo. I've seen him in a couple of other projects. He kind of gets me Jimmy vibes, so I'm cool with that. So yeah, that's obvious in a sense. But yeah, like with that hair. But apparently, Reese from TikTok, who is known for being interviews and doing behind-the-scenes work with many movies, apparently he did a TikTok with on set, which is kind of cool if you haven't seen it. So I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's hilarious. It's kind of cool. So yeah, so this is our Pa Kent, aka Jonathan Kent, with Clark. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to switch it. Now, there are some variations where Jonathan Kent, let me go back to this. There are some variations where Jonathan Kent unfortunately passed. The last one we had was the great Kevin Costner playing Jonathan Kent, who I think he did a good job. I think he did a damn good job playing Pa Kent. Y'all will not make me hate Kevin Costner for that role. You won't. You can hate him for Yellowstone not coming back. You can hate him from any other previous stuff that he's done, but you will not make me hate him for what he did in Snyder's Man of Steel as John Kent, because he pulled that off. Compared to what it could have been him having a heart attack when Clark died at one point. And I'm not going to leave it any further, because if you have not read the comics and to not know what I'm talking about, You're going to need to do that. Now, when it came to crypto, I do believe they do have a real dog. This is obviously CGI, but there is real dog on the set for the film of it. So I like crypto, but he looks that is exactly crypto. And this is the first time in any of the movies that we actually finally get crypto in this film. That's what's so awesome about this. I'm curious though to know his origin, because there have been different versions of his origin in the comic books. So I'm hoping it's a very cute one that we get with him in this movie. So, but I love that. And then the shot that he replicated, like, and everything. Obviously, this scene right here, this moment right here, I've seen several people post saying this is what wins me over for the Superman, because that is incredible. That is incredible. So, yeah. Oh my Lord, that's so good. We got our man. We got Miss Mick Holtz, our Lex Luthor. I'm going to say this, and it's kind of weird. In some universe, we could have had him better Luthor than our, than the one we last got from Snyder. I'm sorry. He really does. He really suits Luthor. He really does. I'm kind of shocked about it, because I'm like, I've seen fans' drawings and fan art of Nicholas's Holt's Luthor, and I'm just like, yeah, bald head. So what? But I'm like, no, yeah, I could see it. I can totally see it. Now, apparently, Maxwell Lord is also supposed to be in this movie. And he's played by none other than James's brother, Sean Gunn, who I will not have you hate on. Y'all got to stop that shit. In fact, Zach Levi can eat a bag of dicks for that shit. So, him talking about, if you got a relative, maybe you ought to movie, I'm like, no, eat a bag of dicks, Zach. You're just mad because you won't be Shazam anymore in the new universe. Cut that shit out. Cut it out. So, yeah. I will take Holt's work of it, because you know what? It's better than him playing Beast, and I will stand on that. I do not like his Hank McCoy on the other side, but I will take his Lex Luthor. I will take it. I love this moment though within this scene, and then this. This is what makes this worth the case of this character of it, because we closely got this in Man of Steel and Dawn of Justice, when other countries look at him as a beacon of hope. Of course, this is what when people say it should have been truth, justice, in the American way, and DC decided to say truth, justice, and the better tomorrow. This right here, the hate that this man will get for his character, the perfect representation of that. That's why even we, people in the community, in our community, can understand what Clark goes through with it. You can't picture Clark a racist. You can't picture him as a bigot. This man represents other people who are out of country, who deals with the turmoils of being different from other places and not of our own, and asking for equality, no different than anyone else deserves it. Which is why I feel like people like this guy right here, people like this who hate on him, are hypocrites. But it's necessary for the diverse sense of representation. I understand. But people like this guy who would hate on people like him makes you a hypocrite. That man is no different than you. He came from somewhere outside of this world, more than outside of that country, asking for equality, no different than you. So when it came to all the Trump-tards and Republicans who were mad that there's a comic book about this man punching Nazis, of course it makes sense. But yeah, the sense of that, yeah. Okay, we gotta address the elephant in the room on this. First off, glad to know you, James, and Nathan are still good on this. But I won't lie, the fact that people are saying about him with this. Okay, you gotta take your foot. Shout out to Boss Logic. I get what he's saying. He's like, the Boss Logic, if you have not followed him, awesome graphic designer. Awesome. He's worked with many big names in Hollywood. He's a dope ass. I used to follow him back when he was just doing video game graphic designs. he mentions that, when it comes to this was the only thing he was a little bit concerned of, because it's hard to take a comic book character and put him and try to bring more of a 3D sense to it with something as simple as a hairdo design. I'm not gonna lie to you. People need to remember two things. One, Guy barely wore that look for a while. Guy did, because I'm gonna be real. Guy at one point wore a different hairstyle, and I'm gonna bring it up for y'all to see in a sense of it, because y'all forget Guy Gardner at one point, and I know it wasn't favorable. But at one point, he did change his hairstyle in the comic books. We have to remember that. Because at one point, I'm going to bring up a few pictures where he actually has the different hair, because I need to prove a point, because some of y'all forget that hairstyle from Guy is only iconic because of the fact that memorable for it in certain cases. But there was many moments where Guy had a different hairdo. Let's see. So I think these are the best pictures. I think this is one of the best pictures that I can pull up right now. So there's this hairstyle, which is more of a buzz cut up. That was one of his hairstyles. And then another one, this is a better picture. He had that hairstyle. And then at one point, I think he was a Guardian. No, he was Warrior. So when he was stripped from his years early on, when he was stripped from playing the being a Green Lantern, he had his own power ring. He became a Warrior. And I'm not gonna lie. I own that issue. It wasn't his best. It wasn't the best work from DC. A lot of people don't like his Warrior era, but he was rocking the hell out of that look. And with that hair as such, they took him seriously. People used to think Guy was the joke of the characters in the core, but they took him seriously when he looked like this with his own power ring. So let's hope that later down the line, Nathan will get this hairdo, because I don't know. I have to look it up, but I think, if I'm correct, there is some speculation that I believe Guy will be appearing in the core Lantern series. I don't know if that's true or not. I might have to look on that. I'm trying to find out if Lanterns will feature him. See if Wikipedia has any info on it. Okay. Wikipedia series Lanterns. The cast, main cast. Okay. So Kyle Chandler, who will be our Hal Jordan. Aaron Pierre has been confirmed will be our Jon Stewart. Kelly McDonald will be Carrie. Purna Jagannathan as Zoe. Garrett Delahunt will be William Macon. And Nathan will be back as Guy. I'm hoping that within the series, because this is going to be a series, not a movie, but hopefully in this series, Guy will be he'll be more involved within the show, and he'll look more like Warrior with a buzz cut and such of it, hopefully. But you know what? Here's the thing that reason why I'm not going to get mad about it. This is the closest. Let me pull it up. This is the closest that we have to Nathan finally playing a Lantern. Let's not forget, for many of us DC fans, Nathan has done a great service, amazingly performing voice work as Lantern in many animated films from the DC universe. And not the DC animated universe, the one that's all singlet. I'm talking about the vintage stuff, from Crisis Infinite Earths to Batman, Superman, Public Enemies. Many animated films that featured Lantern in Justice League Doom. Guess who played our Hal Jordan in those animated movies? This guy. This guy played our Hal Jordan. So this is the closest we will get to him playing a Lantern in a movie finally. This is full circle moment. And James Gunn, we have to thank for this. I'm happy for Nathan. I love him in The Rookie already. I've been binge watching the hell out of The Rookie. But I love the fact that he finally get to do this because I'm like, this is full circle moment. Nathan has been playing lantern voices for years in animated movies, and now he finally gets to play one in a movie, even if it's not Hal. I'm happy for that. And plus, Hal wasn't the only smart talker of the Lanterns with a silver tongue. Guy was that too. He was more in-sheet weird. So Nathan can still bring that energy of his performance to what he did voice work as Hal. He can bring that to Guy. It's just how Guy's been not taken seriously a lot of times of it, like Booster Gold to some sense. That's the only difference. Where Hal is more of like, oh, he can get away with it. But that's Nathan. That's energy from Nathan. It's always been that with Nathan Fillion. So I think this is perfect. I'm so glad James did this. Our Hawk Girl on the side of it, as you can see here, I can't wait for her too. I'm so excited for her. I'm so happy for her. It's the closest we had to what the Arrowverse did with her. I would have loved to have seen her in Black Adam like they probably would have done, but it's understandable. It's understandable. So yeah, I'm looking forward to her what she's bringing Hawk Girl. That's going to be our main creature, I'm guessing. Okay. You know there's going to be romance moments when it comes to these two. So much. We all know that. We all know that. My question is this. Is this a Brainiac robot? Is this a LexCorp robot? Or is this Metallo? My guess, it's the sentient AI unit that is in the House of the Fortress of Solitude. Because if you look around behind Clark, it's all white, crystallized. That's the Fortress of Solitude. So there is a sentient AI that is in the Fortress of Solitude. I believe. I think the robots. Yes, collects. So for those who don't know, let me pull it up on here. Let me pull it up. There is a robot named Collects. I'm going to use the Supergirl version just to prove a point on this. Collects is a sentient being, a sentient AI robot that he's basically the guardian of the Fortress of Solitude. He's responsible for the database, the collection of creatures and props and weapons and things like that Superman has encountered and collected over the years. He's basically the observatorist, if that's even a term. Collects was in the comics. He also appeared in this version of the Arrowverse with Supergirl. And I'm guessing, my guess is that is who Clark is holding onto in the movie, on the trailer. So in this scene right here, that's Collects that Superman is literally holding. So that's obvious Collects. Probably damaged by somebody who invaded the fortress, and Superman has to overcome. Superman has to fight, in the sense, encounter. I don't think Lex is the main antagonist in this movie. I don't think he is. I believe there's another villain that's responsible on this. Lex is just another part of the angle that probably will work with the villain, but then will team up with Superman, unfortunately, to stop the common cause. But then once that's done, he still doesn't like Superman, and they're still going to be enemies from now on. He's going to be more of a minor villain, not the major villain, if I can use that term directly. But yeah, this has to be Collects. Collects, like I said, was very close with Clark in some cases. A lot of people don't know the fact that Collects helped with Clark with most of his information. So whenever there's information that Clark needed, Collects was there. Whenever his parents couldn't get that information, especially when it came to enemies that were not familiar to his parents and such. So yeah, this was the formation of the Fortress of Solitude, probably the access point when it rises out, which looks cool. This is our main antagonist. And I have a feeling this either is going to be Zod or Brainiac. My money, Brainiac. Zod has been done already. Zod has been done. That could be for a sequel. That could be for a continuation of another movie with Superman involved. But I don't think it's Zod. I believe that's Brainiac because people forget Brainiac is a very dangerous creature, a very dangerous villain. And all these aliens that are involved in that situation, Brainiac has access to. So I want to believe this is Brainiac. I want to believe it's Brainiac. You know what? Hold on. I just noticed something. This isn't the villain. I just noticed. That's yellow and that's purple. That's Metamorpho. This is Metamorpho. Oh my God, I can't believe I couldn't recognize him. Metamorpho is a villain turned superhero in the Justice League. He was in the West Division of what Justice League in the comics. Metamorpho is pretty much straightforward what you would think he is. He is a superhero with the ability to shapeshift. Yeah, that's Metamorpho. It didn't dawn until I saw the yellow and the purple on his body. Metamorpho's outfit is purple on one side, yellow or is orange on the other. It didn't dawn on me until that. But the intricate detail on his face, though, that really is good. So that makes him more grounded. But yeah, that's Metamorpho. That's not Brainiac. I didn't even think about it. However, that's awesome to see that situation of it. But yeah, he's probably going to be another person to help out with the others. So he's probably either going to be associating with the League members or whoever that team is. That includes Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific, who we saw earlier, who we'll probably see later in this trailer. Or it will involve, it'll be involved with more of the aliens. Because if I'm correct, there was one angle that Metamorpho was a villain who turned into a good guy. Hell, there was a moment where Metamorpho was a member of the Outsiders, which was a collective group that Batman put together when he left the Justice League. So, yeah. We got another shot with Lex, this time a little bit beaten up. People cheering for Superman. Superman fighting off a giant creature. Crypto helping helping Superman out. Save Superman. I don't know who this guy is, but this is a character who is going to be encountering with Superman. There he is. Look at him. Mr. Terrific, baby. I'm so happy he's in this. He's finally going to get the theatrical vision he deserves. Listen. I have to say this. The version of Mr. Terrific that was done in the Arrowverse. I have to remember the actor's name. Curtis Holt is Mr. Terrific, the character. Echo Kellum. Thank you. Listen, shout out to Echo Kellum, who's a real G. That dude is coolest motherfucker. Like, if you have not watched the Grand Crew episodes, y'all gotta watch that. I'm hoping it's still on the air. But Echo dominated with this character of Curtis. He did a damn good job with it on the Arrowverse. He did what he was able to do with that character, and it's so fucking cool. I won't lie. I'm one of you many black people who was not aware of Mr. Terrific's ability. In fact, let's just say Mr. Terrific would make Tony Stark, Ben Richards look like they were sixth graders with his intellect. The only person I can't say is the one kid from the Runaways. He's the only one that I know that probably would be just as smart as him on the Marvel end. But Curtis, Mr. Terrific, I was not aware of his intellect until I watched his appearance in Justice League Unlimited. When he first appeared in animated form. When I first saw him in the animated form, that shocked me. Because I was just like, wait, what? How have I not heard of this guy? Same reason why I didn't know, I wasn't aware of Black Lightning until later. But my introduction with most black, and same thing for Cyborg. But it wasn't until the Milestone universe that I saw that. Now, James, if you're watching this, if you ever happen to see this, sir, I really hope that you decide to make that a situation with Milestone. I know you've talked with the executives, including Reginald Hudlin. Please make this happen. Tie Milestone within this universe. It would be the greatest service for us in the black community who are big comic book fans. Please do that for us. But I'm looking forward to seeing what this version of Mr. Terrific is, because it's awesome. Like all the weapons and everything. Listen, if it wouldn't be romantically cliche if we didn't see a moment where Clark and Lois, when Superman and Lois are kissing in the air. It's about expected as Spider-Man kissing Mary Jane Watson under the mask. It's expected. So why not? I know. So yeah, if anything. But the fact that, like, even after this, we don't get anything other than the date and website for information about the movie. We don't get a title, the name. We don't get the poster, the logo. We don't get nothing. We just get only in theaters July 11th. That's it. All we get is this. July 11th. And then DC Studios. That's it. Only in theaters. That's it. We don't get a name of it because he knows, James knows that we all know who he is. We know his name. We know his story. We know his legacy. We know how much he is beloved. We know how many times we have seen variations of this character done in film, television, comic books, and cartoons. And TV shows. We know who he is. If you don't, you're living under a fucking rock or never picked up a comic book in your goddamn life. That's why you don't need one. You know who else did that same thing? Tim Burton at one point when it came to Batman. Hell, Nolan did it at one point with Batman Begins until people started saying what is the name of the movie. All you needed to do was show the bat symbol, and that's it. So it wouldn't be. It's not surprising that this is what he did instead, and I commend him for it. I do. So now with this out the way in the sense of it, now that we know about this movie and everything on that, it's time to talk about when it comes to this movie. When it comes to when this movie is coming out, we need to talk about the fact of my thoughts outside of this situation. So here's the thing. Like I said before, am I a Superman super fan? No, I'm not. I honestly can say that. And unfortunately, you're going to have to learn to deal with that situation. But am I willing to be optimistically open on a new Superman movie? I always do. Will I be seeing this in theaters? The only reason why, and this is what I need y'all to understand, the only reason why there's a possibility not to see this in theaters, maybe or not, is because of the fact that I'm still supposed to be on a sabbatical with superhero movies. Deadpool and Wolverine ruined that for me. And before that, it was Spider-Verse. I was supposed to no longer see superhero movies for about a year, and it ended up not happening at all. And that's what I was like, well, I guess that's not happening. So I don't know if I still know if I'm going to do that or not. But at the same time, if I had an opportunity, somebody decided to give me free tickets to see this movie, or someone decided to have me a +1 to see this movie and told me, Donnie, would you want to see this movie with me? Oh, you're paying for my tickets? I'm not going to say you got a free ticket to see this. Absolutely not. If you told me I went to get a live carpet, if somebody in Los Angeles, one of my friends in LA, told me I have a +1 to go to the red carpet premiere to see this movie with James and the cast and crew, to see this movie, all you need to do is get a ticket, a hotel, and a suit. Sign me the fuck up. Sign me the fuck up, yes. I'm not going to say no to this, but at the same time, I don't say yes to stuff like that for any movie. If it was Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I'm not going to do that. If it was going to see Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball reboot, I wouldn't see that. Any lesser movie I would not do this with. It's specific movies I will do this with. This is one of them. So yes, that tells you right there, I'm still optimistic for this. It's already been confirmed now, outside of this, that Matt Reeves, the director of The Batman and the producer of The Penguin, has already stated he's currently writing the script for the sequel, for the Batman movie. We don't know anything yet. He's just said he's writing. But hopefully, by the beginning of next year, he stated that it will be started once he gets the script done with the casting and crew. There will be a production for the movie will be underway. So all next year will be focused on filming that movie. And the only reason why I know this is true is because there is an interview on Variety magazine, and I touched about it, I believe, on my TikTok, but I don't know if I posted it or not. But there is an interview where he does a director's on director interview with Zoe Kravitz, aka Catwoman from this Batman movie, who happens to also direct the movie with Channing Tatum, twice I think it's called. So they're having discussions as directors, but casually Zoe brings up about the sequel, about her coming back and such. And Matt's like, of course, we would love you to come back. I'm currently writing for the sequel. And that's when he also mentions about maybe they're doing a sequel season for the Penguin show, even though it was a one-season show. And I've already established on my TikTok about that. You don't need to do another season of the Penguin. Honest opinion, we don't need another sequel of the Penguin. That one season did its service. We don't need another season. I'm happy for the accolades it's getting. I'm happy for the success it's getting. I'm happy for the ride that everybody's enjoyed with this movie, with the show. We don't need a sequel. We don't need another season, because what's going to happen is with that show season, it's going to end up the same way that Todd Phillips did with the Joker sequel. The Joker movie was supposed to be a one-off, and then all of a sudden, he said, "Bring us a second one." And Todd's like, "Okay, so what do I do next? Oh, I'll do a musical." And look where that movie went now. So we don't need a second season of The Penguin. That one season did its justice for our father. It will do just fine. It's okay. It's to give us the taste of what's to come for the sequel for the Batman. That's what we should focus on. Now, I also know that James stated also that he, at the moment, this is the only thing he's focusing on. He's not focusing on any of the other movies that'll be coming from the DC universe. This is his only priority, which means the Brave and the Bold Batman movie that he had announced will be coming, that's not probably going to be in production soon. He's focusing on this movie alone. No follow-ups, no sequels, nothing yet. Just this movie. So what we need to do, and I'm talking to mostly the press people out there, is you needed to focus on this movie and not worry about all the other stuff in this universe. Not yet. Lanterns is the only thing that we can at least talk about aside from Creature Commandos. That's it. Let's not pressure this man when it comes to the other stuff, because if this turns out to do well, to launch this DC Studios universe for what he has planned for it, then we can get good stuff out of it. Look what happened with Guardians. What happened with Guardians was a miracle of what it was because of what we were able to let creatively happen with James Gunn. That same process can happen over in DC when it comes to this movie starting it off. So let's give us that, please. Because I swear, some of y'all journalists really fuck it up. You really do. You really fuck it up. But overall, I'm not going to lie, with the elements that they used with this movie, and first of all, also another thing I want to bring up into it, that I also want to bring out, shout out to James for actually posting on streams the score that was used in this trailer. So the trailer score that was used, he actually uploaded it for streaming services. So now you can listen to it. You don't have to worry about somebody taking the video and stripping the audio to listen to the music. He actually has it uploaded on his stream, online. You can listen to the song online. I believe he has it up. Superman trailer version, John Murphy. 2 minutes. He posted it tonight. It is literally on my Amazon screen, on my Amazon Music app. It's literally on there. The fact that he was able to say, I'm going to let y'all listen to the trailer teaser music, and you can now play it instead of just ripping an unauthorized copy online and posting it on TikTok and social media. Thank you, James. You know what you're doing. This is why I said he knows what he's doing. He knows there's going to be tons of videos, clip shows, and audio clips that's going to, and video montages that's going to be made for the excitement of this movie. He knows it. He knows it. And whether we do it on TikTok or Limit 8 or Clapper or Instagram, that's what's going to happen. And that's genius of him to do that. Genius. Because I said myself, I'm like, did he really upload it? And sure enough, I looked on his threads and he has it posted. He's listening to it. I'm like, I've never known, I don't think there's ever been a movie trailer that's ever had that happen where they said, we'll upload the song that we used in the trailer just so you can listen to it. I don't think they've ever done that. Maybe they have. But that's pretty fucking ballsy. That's why I said James knows what he's fucking doing. I know I'm sounding repetitive, but it's the truth. James knows what he's fucking doing. So, with all that said into the situation, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm okay with I'm okay with this. I am okay with this. I will still appreciate what Snyder did with Cavill. I will, but I will appreciate this when this is out. This is going to be exciting. It's going to be awesome to see this. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does with this movie. But I am in good. I am not complaining. I'm not complaining. I am not complaining because this is pretty dope. This is pretty dope. I will say this to respond to people who are more hateful on Snyder's movie in a sense of it. And I'm going to talk also to the Snyder cults out there, to the people who were hating on Snyder in this movie in a sense of it, who see this trailer. Y'all have to learn to let things go. We lost a situation. It happens. We can blame the people for it. I've said earlier before, blame Warner Brothers, blame those executives for this decision. It is what it is. But it's sailed its course. It's been a year now. Its course has been sailed. Zach has moved on. Most of the executives have moved on. So we have to learn. We will always remember and appreciate for what Zach did with his variation. And be grateful the cut at least was released. Because there are people who are Air fans who want the Suicide Squad cut that will never see that light ever. Be optimistic. Give this a chance. Maybe it might turn around. So like I said, So that goes on both ends because at the same time, for the people who are hateful of this and saying that this is not Snyder's Batman, this is not Snyder's Superman, it's not Cavill's Superman. But at the same time, to the people who were bashing on Snyder and Superman, be appreciative of that. There is some good there. Appreciate for what it is. To those who are hateful to this movie, even though it hasn't came out yet with the trailer, and because it's not Snyder or Cavill, give it a shot. See how it goes. Still don't like the to the people hateful of Snyder and Cavill's, appreciate what that was. There was a lot worse. Let's not forget there's an existence of many other variations that could, to your eyes, might have been worse. The Tim Burton version, some people thought would have been bad, which was gladly canceled. The version, the Bryan Singer version with Brandon Routh was bad to some people. You're not the first to hate on other ones and be hateful to those. It's not the first. So for me, being the fan that I am when I wear this shirt, which is courtesy of people like James, I will appreciate this movie. I will look forward to watching it. If there's an opportunity that I will see it in theaters, I will not hesitate to watch it in theaters. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm excited for the fact of the sequel. But until then, I will be glad to see this. I'm up for this. This is not terrible. This is not terrible. That's the most important thing about it, is that the goodness that people have seen from this is willing to be optimistic and give this a chance. That's the good that comes out of this. For the people out there who were less optimistic about this movie and were more of, I don't know, I don't think James can handle it. That's the part of me that says, oh no, I believe in James. I believe. Again, I highly would suggest you watch his episode of Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, Inside of You. That podcast where he basically talks about the plans for DC Studios and what he plans on doing with it when it comes to something simple as Superman. That right there makes me believe in James. And seeing this trailer now, I cannot tell you how much I am glad I stuck with that theory. That I believe in James and I know he'll do a good job with this character and this franchise. I see it very well. In the sense of this movie, my only hope is what comes later down the line in the DC universe with other characters outside of Superman that would connect to this universe that James plans to do later down the line. Such as, for example, the Creature Commandos. As I stated before, I have not watched the show because I'm hesitant of what Pan the Red says. If you have not followed Pan the Red on TikTok, if you haven't seen his videos on TikTok, I would strongly suggest you do, because he makes good points about it. Now, after watching this trailer myself, I'm most likely going to be watching Panda Red's reaction. Because Panda Red, he is a fan of Red Hood in the Batman mythos, so I'm a fan of his. And I would love to know his reaction to this movie. In fact, maybe I could pull his up right now, because I know he probably has his reaction. I know he does. So let me see if I can find his. Okay. So I pulled it up. All right, y'all. So I'm pulling up Panda Red's reaction to the trailer for Superman. So I have to pull it up. Because again, I respect his opinions so much. So I'm hoping his reaction is what I think it is. So we're gonna watch it. Because he's been very much less optimistic.
Superman! I'm sorry. Let me say that in a lot more reasonable manner. There's a Superman trailer out. There's an actual Superman trailer out. I know that since day one, I have said that I am only tangentially on the hype train. Cautiously optimistic is the words that I tend to use. You fuck that. I'm hyped as fuck. The first 3 things we see Superman do in this trailer is ask for help, save a child, and fucking fly. Oh my god! And crypto? Fucking crypto? Listen, you don't understand. Crypto has never been in a Superman movie. And he is not only on the poster, but he's in the fucking first trailer? Do you have any idea what that means, tone-wise, for a Superman Oh my god, I'm so hyped! Set photos do absolutely nothing justice. Literally nothing. Imagine that. Unofficial pictures that don't show the tone or feeling of a movie don't actually show what the movie's gonna be like. My god! Why do I say that? Well, first of all, Clark Kent looks fucking great. Second of all, David Holt as Lex Luthor? I was not behind that casting decision, but fuck me, he looks amazing. All of this looks amazing. Oh my god! Listen, I really want to give more insightful topics other than just holy shit, it looks great. Yeah, y'all have lost me. I'm officially on the hype train. I can't get off. I can't get off anymore. I'm strapped in. But you know what? Just as insurance policy. Hey there, future me. Past me here. How's your hair doing? Does it feel awkward still? Anyway, you've seen the movie now. Is it good? Is it good? Did we fuck it up? Did we fuck it up by saying how hype we are? I really hope it's fucking good. Did we get invited to the premiere? There's no way that we did, but did we get invited to the premiere? Tell me we got invited to the premiere, please. But at the very least, tell me that it was good. I really want this movie to be good. I really want this movie to be good, because
I second that emotion, Panda Red. And DC, for the love of God, please tell me that. Please. Please, for the love of God, DC, I would love that myself. Like, God, please. Give me that. Give it to me. Give it to me. I would love this, please. I need this. Like, I really need this. You have no idea. Oh my god.
fuck me, I am tied in!
But yeah, there it is. 100% there it is. Super Panda Red is hyped for Superman. Again, I've said this before. This man is very skeptical. He's very skeptical when it comes to Superman. No different than me. And I will 100% believe that. I will. Like, oh my sweet leaves, the baby Jesus. Like, oh